The night settles thick and heavy over the pine-covered slopes, a kind of darkness that seems to breathe. In that stillness, when the world quiets and the imagination stretches into the shadows, the legend of Bigfoot begins to stir. This episode of Bigfoot Encounters Radio dives straight into the beating heart of the wilderness, where strange footprints, eerie howls, and fleeting shapes between the trees remind us that the world is far stranger than we dare admit. True stories of Bigfoot may sound unbelievable to some, thrilling to others, but for those who have lived them, they are moments etched into memory with absolute clarity. For decades, people from all walks of life, hunters, hikers, loggers, park rangers, even entire families, have claimed to encounter something massive and mysterious in the woods. These aren't just fleeting whispers exchanged around campfires, they are detailed, emotional accounts from people who swear their lives were changed. Picture a dense forest trail in the Pacific Northwest, a place where daylight barely penetrates the canopy. A seasoned hiker, someone who knows the woods like a second home, suddenly finds themselves feeling watched. Not by a cougar, not by a bear, those sensations they know well. This presence is different, heavier, deliberate, as if something intelligent is tracking their every step. Then a branch snaps, a shadow moves, and for a fraction of a second, a towering silhouette, far taller and broader than any known animal, glides between the trees. These are the moments that have fueled 1,000 stories. One of the most compelling aspects of these encounters is how consistent they are. Witnesses often describe a creature standing between 7 and 10 feet tall, covered in thick, dark hair, with a powerful build and an oddly human-like gait. The smell is frequently mentioned too, an overpowering odor like a mix of wet dog, skunk, and decay, as if the creature carries the scent of the deepest parts of the forest with it. And then there are the sounds. People speak of low, resonant growls that vibrate through the air, or long, mournful howls that seem too deep to belong to a wolf, too complex to come from any known animal. These chilling auditory encounters often echo across valleys late at night, leaving campers wide-eyed and silent in their tents. One story that sends shivers down the spine comes from a family camping near Mount Shasta. They were sitting around a small fire, roasting marshmallows and telling stories, when the forest suddenly fell silent. Every cricket, every bird, every rustle seemed to hold its breath. The father noticed first, the sound of something heavy moving just outside the ring of light. At first, he assumed it was a deer or maybe even a bear. But then the steps became too slow, too intentional, as though the creature was circling them, keeping its distance but making its presence known. The family froze, listening as the footsteps moved from one side of the camp to the other. Then came the deep growl, low and rumbling, unmistakably close. The father shined a flashlight into the trees and, for a split second, saw two glowing eyes staring back from a height no human could reach. He later described the eyes as intelligent, aware, and far more intense than any animal he had ever encountered. That night, they packed up and left before the sun rose, unable to shake the feeling of being watched until they reached the safety of the highway. Folklore from indigenous tribes also adds layers of depth to the Bigfoot legend. Long before the creature became a staple of modern mystery, tribes across North America told stories of a large, hairy, human-like being dwelling in the forests. Some described it as a guardian of nature, a protector who kept balance in the wilderness. Others warned of a more fearsome creature, one able to appear suddenly and vanish without a trace. These stories, passed down through generations, mirror modern sightings in remarkable detail. The consistency across centuries and cultures raises fascinating questions. Are these tales mere myths, or do they reflect real encounters with an elusive being that has managed to evade scientific confirmation? The mystery deepens with the countless reports of enormous footprints found in remote locations. These prints often measure well over 15 inches in length, with clear toe impressions and weight distribution that suggests something extraordinarily heavy. Some have stride lengths that exceed what any human could naturally produce without running, and even then, the depth of the impression suggests a creature far heavier than a person. For skeptics, these prints could be hoaxes, but many experts who have studied them argue that the anatomical details would be extremely difficult to fake convincingly. In some cases, dermal ridges, fine skin-like patterns, have been observed in casts of the prints, adding yet another layer of intrigue. Then there are the audio recordings captured by researchers and curious adventurers alike. Some of the most famous recordings feature a series of whoops, howls, and strange vocalizations that don't match any known wildlife. Analysts who study these sounds note unusual frequency ranges and patterns that resemble human language more than animal communication. Whether these recordings are genuine evidence of an unknown creature or simply unexplained anomalies, they continue to puzzle researchers and thrill believers. What makes Bigfoot stories so compelling is not just the mystery itself, but the human element behind each encounter. People describe moments of awe, terror, confusion, and profound curiosity. Some leave the woods forever changed, unwilling to return to the places where they once felt safe. Others become obsessed, devoting their lives to tracking down clues, collecting evidence, and trying to make sense of what they saw. Bigfoot has become more than a creature, it has become a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that despite our technological advances, some secrets of the natural world remain beyond our grasp. As you listen to the stories shared on Bigfoot Encounters Radio, allow yourself to slip into the shadows of the forest. Imagine the crunch of leaves underfoot, the chill of the night air, the hum of silence that follows an unseen presence. Whether you are a firm believer, a curious skeptic, or someone simply drawn to the thrill of the unknown, these tales invite you to question what lies just beyond the reach of light. The world is vast, the forests deep, and sometimes, the truth hides in the places we least expect. So settle in, turn down the lights, and let the stories carry you into the heart of the wilderness. Somewhere out there, beyond the trees and tangled undergrowth, something ancient and elusive may be moving right now, watching, waiting, continuing a mystery that has captivated human imagination for centuries. Whether myth or reality, Bigfoot remains one of the most intriguing figures in the realm of the unexplained. And as long as people keep venturing into the forest, the stories will continue, whispers in the night, footprints in the mud, and the fleeting glimpse of a massive figure disappearing between the trees.